I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Holy Rustic, and we are a DIY studio, but we've had to close for the virus, so we are putting our craft kits and some video tutorials out there so that we can continue to craft even though we need to stay at home. So this is a combined tutorial. I'm going to do the marbled ceramic eggs and one of our new craft kits, which is the bunny holder. So with this craft kit, you'll get the wooden bunny stand to paint on your own, any color, and then you'll get all the little ceramic eggs that go around in the stand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the marbling, since both classes have the marbled ceramic eggs, and then I'll move on to the wooden ceramic or the ceramic crate that looks like wood for those of you that are doing that kit. The first thing that we'll need to do for the marbled eggs, and I'm just going to flip this down so you can see what's going on here. You have a foam tray, at least one, and you need to pick the colors that you're going to do the eggs. So you can use multiple colors. I'm just going to do them all the same, but you can change, you can do a different color per egg if you want. So you got some shaving cream, and what we're going to do is we are going to fill the tray up with the shaving cream. All right, once you get all the shaving cream in there, you can take a knife or a palette knife or whatever you want, and you're just going to kind of smooth out that shaving cream. So you want to kind of make it even all the way across like this. This is a really fun craft. I love doing this. You just want it to be pretty level all the way across. Now, if you're doing the wooden stand, that holds 8 eggs, so you will have multiple trays and you'll need to do more than one round. If you're doing the wood crate with the 3 eggs, you can probably do it all in this one foam tray. Unless you're doing multiple colors, then you can do multiple trays. Okay. Now, what you want to do next is take your paint. I'm going to use brown and a light blue. And basically you are going to just drizzle it straight onto the shaving cream. So just drizzle that paint. Oh, it's a little gloopy. All over. Okay, and then I'm going to take the blue and do the same thing. You can go different directions if you want. What I'm going to do now that I've done that is take the end of a paintbrush and I'm going to kind of mix it. You don't want to totally blend the two colors, but I am going to make sure that they kind of run through each other like this. Okay, so now I have a pretty blend of colors here. And we're going to take our eggs. Now, if you have the wooden craft kit, you have a whole egg like this. If you're doing the planner, then yours are open at the top. It doesn't matter. You're going to do it the same way. So I'll start with this. And what you're going to do is take your egg, and on one side of the tray, you're going to lay it in. So you don't have to push it all the way down. You just want it at the top, and then you're going to roll it across the paint. This is a messy craft, but it is fun. Okay, so once you get all the way back around, I'm just going to set that up there. We're going to wash them off, but we want to get them rolled in the paint first. So I'm going to go ahead and do my other 3 that I have sitting here. I'm just gonna put that upside down. If you're ever gonna wear gloves during a craft, this would be the one, because this is a mess. All right, now I'm gonna go down the middle and do another one. And then another one here. Okay, now we're just gonna wash those off and you'll have some marbling. So go ahead and do that. I'm gonna do mine and be right back. Okay, so we have a unique marbling on each one of our eggs. Just gonna take that and blot it off so it's not wet. There we have it. Okay, so each one looks a little bit different. And those are done. Alright, so if you are doing the wood bunny, you can let those dry. If you have an acrylic sealant, you can spray them and that will make them a little bit glossy and hold the paint on, and then you can just set them inside of your egg holder like that. Okay, so cute decoration for Easter. If you're doing the ceramic crate, we are going to go ahead and move to that. Okay, so we're done with the marbling. Clear my space here. Crate, we want to make 3 different color browns. So we're going to do, I'm using nutmeg, which is an apple barrel paint, and I'm going to need the most of that because we're going to paint the whole crate in it. And so I'm going to do a little bit, 2 more little piles of the nutmeg so that we can do our dry brushing and shading and stuff. All right, now with one of these piles of brown, let me make sure they're the same. The little ones, we're gonna add a little black to make 2 different color browns. So with this one, I'm just gonna add a little bit of black, and with this one, I'm gonna add a little bit more. So we want 3 distinct browns. So I'm just gonna mix that up. My paint got gloopy here, it's not. And then this one has a little bit more black, so it should be really, really dark. So you just want to make sure that they're 3 completely different colors. Now I'm going to take a big brush first, and I'm going to start with the lightest. I've painted a lot of different ways, and I just like it with the light color better. So, I mean, Everybody paints differently. It's up to you how you want to do it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and paint the whole thing in my lightest nutmeg color. I just don't think that there's any right or wrong way to paint or craft. I think everybody has their own unique way of doing things, and as someone who's taught a lot of DIY classes, I love seeing everybody's creativity. I think that it's nice that everybody can do the same thing and come out with a different look. It's amazing to me. So this will take the longest, just covering all the sides of the wood crate. And I am going to paint on the inside too, because you will be able to see that when your eggs are in there. I'm just covering the whole thing. I wonder how y'all doing out there. Is everybody in quarantine, I wonder? It's really been a crazy week. I'm going to switch everything over to the online classes since we had to close the studio. Hopefully everything blows over soon and we can get back to some normalcy. Oh, it's easy to get caught up in the change and the uncertainty, but you can also use this time as an opportunity to do things that you wouldn't normally do. While we're all sitting at home. Or the empty studio, like I am. We're also going to be doing this craft as a virtual class, which will be live and interactive. So it'll be kind of like a video conference where you can paint or craft with your friends and family from anywhere in the country. We'll ship the supplies. It's just a way to connect while we're unconnected. Also, if you have one of our craft kits, make sure to join our Craft Crew Facebook group. Go to our page on Facebook and find that group. So we're gonna be pretty active in that group once we kind of get all these tutorials going and answer any questions that you might have with your kids, or somewhere you can post your finished craft and find some encouragement or new ideas, or like I said, see everybody else's creativity. I'm going to paint the bottom. I just love these little ceramic pieces. All our ceramics are locally poured another business, another local business does the pouring for us. I just like to do the fun part, the painting. Go back, make sure you got all the little spots. Once it starts to dry, you can kind of see all the little spots that you missed. I did the gnome craft earlier. I keep finding little pieces of fur, faux fur for the gnome beard. Keep getting stuck in my paint. I shouldn't have put that down as soon as I painted it. Alright, so we'll just let that dry a minute. I'm basically done with the big brush. I'm going to switch it out and get something much smaller. Probably a small round brush. I'm a really messy painter. I get more on myself than anything else, I think. Alright, so once that dries, we're going to start doing a dry brush of these other colors. So I'm going to use the darkest last to go through all these little creases here. But what I'm going to do with the medium round, and I'm just using a round brush here, is I'm going to dip it in and then I'm going to rub it off. So I don't want much paint on there at all. I want to do a dry brush on gnome fur. And then from the edges, I'm just going to start rubbing that on. So just kind of brush that. Brush that on, and you want to just keep kind of smoothing it into the wood there. Well, it's not really wood, but you know what I mean. So just lightly brush that on there. Over. Just rub off the excess. You're not painting over the whole thing again. You're just kind of spot touching. You just want it, you want it to be kind of even. But we're just giving it a rustic look. And then you can kind of see, I do a little bit in between. As you can see that when it's sitting up, you can tell there's no variation of color in between the wood pieces. Alright, so dry brush my medium color, I'm going to go around and do that on all the sides. So I'm going to switch over to this one, rub off the excess, and just dry brushing. Just want some variation in the colors. Too much dark there, so I'm going to take my light color again and I'm going to kind of incorporate that back into it. If you get it too dark, it's no big deal. Just put your light color back in with it. There you go. then don't forget these little pieces in between, because I just don't like how obvious it is that it's a different color. So I just kind of touch my paintbrush to those little spots there. And again, go between the rails here. All right, we'll do this side. Whoops. Just kind of follow the lines on the ceramics as you go. The lines in the wood. Now, this part's a little bit trickier. You want to go along the edges of this side here and then kind of go down the middle. Keep playing with it until you get it the way you like. Just like that. Just got that variation on there. I'm going to flip over to the other side and do the same thing. Just going to follow this around the edge here. I think I'm going to put a little light back in there. I got that a little dark through here. Just go back over it and kind of brush that back through. All right. And then you can do it on the top if you want. Probably run a little bit around the edge. You're just kind of touching down here and there. Just lightly touch it. Okay. All right. Go back around anywhere you see really dark spots, just put a little bit of the light back through. Just make sure it looks consistent all the way around. All right. Okay, I think I'm happy with it. I don't do much with the bottom other than paint it, because you really never see it. So I'm just gonna leave that as is. I'm just one of those people, I could just like keep going over everything forever. I have to make myself quit sometimes. Okay, now the last thing that we're gonna do is the darkest color, and I'm gonna try to find something even smaller than what I was using. Yeah, this one is just a little bit thinner than the one you used before. Actually, I'm going to use this one. So this one's super thin on the end, and it's actually a makeup brush. I do that a lot. I don't know why. I really like to paint with makeup brushes. All right, so now I'm going to, whereas, you know, when I was doing the middle color, it was more of just a random touch here and there. Now I'm going to try to kind of follow those lines, and I'm not going to do every one of the lines. I'm just going to do some of the bigger lines and follow that with the dark with the dark color. So I'm gonna dip that in there, brush off the excess. You don't want that really, really dark. And then I'm just gonna kind of follow those lines from the outside in. And your paintbrush really kind of, you know, goes along with the lines. You don't have to try really hard. It kind of grabs on to that. Now I don't want it to be too bold, so I'm going to go back over it a little bit. I don't like this brush. I'm going to switch again. Actually, I think I'm going to use a flat brush and do it sideways. That's what I'm going to do. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, we'll just do that. I'm going to flat brush sideways. I'm going to follow it all the way along the edge here. And then just kind of brush it. That got a little too dark here. I'm just going to go back over it with the light. Just keep playing around with it. There we go. Alright, I'm going to do the bottom one. Follow those lines all the way across. And I'm just going to kind of brush it out, smooth it over. Alright. Here we go. Don't forget your middle parts here. Just real dry, just go over it, put a little dark over it. Alright, that side's done. Flip over here. You're just lightly touching that brush. You just don't want to be putting a lot of paint on it. Just kind of rub it. Super light paint, super light touch. There we go. Go to the other side and do the same thing. Like I said, if you get any spots too dark, just dip back in your light and go over it a little bit. Smooth that out. That one got pretty dark. And centers. That side's done, and then I just got the one more side left to do. Blend all these colors together real quick and go over this side. Alright, and you can just kind of make sure everything Has some variations. Dry brush over it. I think I'm done with my crate. You can do the bottom if you want. Like I said, I don't because you can't see it. We usually spray our ceramics with an acrylic sealant, a glossy one, so it has that kind of fired look without being fired. It just makes it look better. You can order it or find it in a craft store. But what you're gonna do is take your little planters. Once you have everything sprayed, if you're gonna spray it, you can put them in there. You have some fake moss in your kit. With the air plants, they don't need dirt, so we're just using the little fake moss and just pull it apart and put some down in each one of the eggs. That way your plant will sit up at the top of the egg. If you want to put some kind of like Easter grass or the little shredded brown paper for packing or whatever in the bottom of your ceramic crate to keep the eggs up towards the top so that they kind of sit up a little bit and you can see them better, you can do that. But once you put the little moss inside the eggs, then you're going to take your plants and you're going to put one plant in each planter. Now, I don't have any plants with me today, but your air plants are really easy to take care of. You're just going to basically, here's what I do. Once a week, I take them out of the planters and I put them in a bowl of distilled water. And I hold them in there for 30 seconds, and then I take them out and I lay them on a paper towel and let them air dry. They absorb their moisture from the air. You don't have to water them on a regular basis. In fact, that will kill them. You don't want to keep them too wet. So just once a week, or you can spritz them with a spray bottle if you want to do that. You could spritz them. I wouldn't spritz your ceramics unless they're sealed. But you can always just take the air plants out, lay them on a paper towel, spray them, and put them back in because they're not in dirt. So you can just take them in and out as you please. So it's the really convenient thing about the air plants. They're my favorite because I have a hard time keeping plants alive, but I can keep an air plant alive. So if you have any questions, like I said, make sure to join our Facebook group, The Craft Crew, and we can help you out on there. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed your crafting